Michael said, one of the more...
You guys really going to allow that? The guy that shows up last gets the first question?
Go ahead.
Coach, tell us
Thank
about
you.
the rim issue. And how did it come to your attention? What happened? Give us the breakdown.
Yeah, that was like a buzzkill, man. I guess the referees came over and said somebody was hung on the rim, and they had to check to see if it was legal, level, and all that. I wish they would have just changed the rim right away. You know, it took there's a joke in there somewhere. I mean, how many guys does it take to fix the rim in an NBA game? But they were finally able to get it done, put some time on the clock for guys to get warmed up. I was really worried. You know, you're up 13 points with 6:43 to go, and is this going to kill our momentum? You know, how are we going to respond from a really long break? And it's unfortunate for us and Boston, obviously, but we handled it, and we were able to get a hell of a win against a very good basketball team.
Coach, the outcomes of these games, between this one and the first one you guys played against Boston, were very different. What was the biggest difference that you saw in the teams tonight?
I think, you know, as I mentioned pregame, you know, like what's the key? I thought the energy. I thought our guys were ready to play tonight. I thought we got off to a great start. I felt our defense, for the most part, against the number one offense in the NBA was really good. And most importantly within that, the three-point defense. You know, that team is second in makes and attempts per game and seventh in percentage. And tonight they were 9 for 33, 27%. Jason Tatum is an all-MVP player, and he's going to be an MVP finalist. And I thought Aaron Gordon and the rest of our guys, aside from putting him on the foul line, I thought we did a really good job of guarding Jason Tatum. He was 7 of 16 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. So it's always going to be defense for us. I think the defense was pretty good tonight. 31 assists once again. Shot the ball lights out, made 17 threes, and got contributions from a lot of players. So I think the defense was probably the biggest difference in the outcome.
Coach, you mentioned the shots that fell tonight, but it seemed like your offensive process against such a good defense was really effective. What was it that was so effective about your offensive process? You
know, going into the game, you know, that's always my biggest concern playing them. You know, can we score? Can we get off a good shot? Because obviously they're a very good defensive team. They switch a lot. And if you notice throughout the game, they really put some funky matchups out there. And, you know, how do we respond to that? So we went through it this afternoon. But at the end of the day, you have to stay true to yourself. You know, we have to play Nuggets basketball. We have to play through Nikola Jokic, knowing he's going to make the right play. Another triple-double for him. And I felt just the ball movement. Against a really good team, the ball can't stick. If you create an advantage, if you create separation, you have to take advantage of that separation you have created. And that's where I think, you know, to go 17 of 30 from 3, a lot of those were high-quality looks, and guys stepped up and made them, which was obviously a big part of us getting this win today.
To follow up a part of that, you talked about kind of hitting first. For years now, you talked about not being reactive. This season, especially the past couple of weeks, it seems like you guys are throwing the first punch. What has changed in that approach? How are you guys getting that kind of fight early in games often?
Well, I think it was just a discussion as we were in the middle of maybe December. And, you know, you look at the rankings, which I often do, and you're ranked 28th in defensive efficiency. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for us. It's embarrassing for me. I'm not doing my job. The players in that locker room not doing their job. We're too good to be 28th in defensive efficiency. Can we be number 1? I don't know. But I know we can't be 28th. And I think now we're, 10-2 in our last 12 games. And within that stretch, we're probably around 10th in defensive efficiency. There is no secret between the correlation between defense and winning. Yeah, everybody can talk about pace and this and that. Defense wins. And I think our guys have had enough of it, and me talking about it. You know, when are we going to guard for 48 minutes? And we still have so much room to grow on that end of the floor, but obviously it's been really fun to see the defense rise up to not only go 10-2 in your last 12, but to beat some really good teams within that stretch. We have been tested, and I think we've done a pretty good job within that.
Speaking on that, when you talk about defense, you look at Christian Brown, who plays 25 minutes, 1 for 1, 2 rebounds. Like, well, how's a guy with those numbers staying for 25 minutes? Because I thought offensively, I thought he was outstanding most of his game.
You know, I just told him this. One of my favorite plays, if not the favorite play of the night, was a winning play by Christian Brown in transition. Zeke had one in the first half, getting back on Jaylen Brown. Hell of a play, not giving up. And then Christian had one in front of our bench where Jason Tatum looks like he's going to have a transition layup. And Christian, he doesn't know any better. That's what I love about him. He sprints back. He's wired that way. He's a winner. A guy's won in high school, he's won in college, and he's going to win in the NBA. And that winning play of getting back and taking away 2 transition points, who knows? Maybe that's the difference. Tatum sees it go in, he goes on a roll. Simple, like little plays like that can have a huge impact. So I agree with you. It's not always about the stat line. It's about your impact. And Christian was impactful tonight.
You mentioned Zeke and his play there. This is, I think, 3rd or 4th game where there's been promising results with Zeke coming off the bench in that unit. Do you feel a little bit of momentum with that bench unit? And what was the decision to bring AG into that unit as well?
Well, I'll go with your last question first. With AG, we're just trying to maybe mirror his minutes with Tatum a little bit. You know, they get him out probably around the 6-7 minute mark of the 1st and 3rd and bring him back to close and start the next quarter. And I just felt, you know, he's their ace, and let's put our ace defender on him. And then, yeah, I think Zeke has been, you know, oh, something happened. I don't know. Is that the Steeler game? Maybe that's the Steeler game. Yes, yeah, I know. Thanks, Mike. Wow, shots fired. Just because you don't get the first question, you're going to take his book bag and sit on the side. But you know what? I felt the bench unit tonight, was good. And I think Vlatko's been a big part of that as well. I think Vlatko, you can see he's kind of like a glue guy. He's a connector. He's been shooting the ball really well. And when they go to that second lineup, they just switch everything. I knew it was going to be hard to score, so, hey, we got to get stops. And I felt that unit was able to do that for stretches tonight. So, yeah, Zeke has been good, and I think that unit is kind of getting a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more consistency on the floor.
One more. Do you see some budding chemistry between Michael Porter and Nikola Jokic? It seems like since he's gone back, they've had some nice stretches together.
Yeah, and it's funny, even before Michael had gotten hurt, I felt that those two and the two-man game of playing off of each other and with each other was really growing. And now that he's back, I think, I mean, think about it. If you're Michael Porter or any other player, I'm going to pass the ball to that guy, and I'm going to cut. And Michael had a stretch there in that 3rd quarter where he just shot the ball lights out, was really, really effective. 19 points on 7 of 13 from the field. But, yeah, I think Michael and Nikola, that's only going to continue to grow. And, for us to do this without Jamal Murray, it makes it even a little bit more impressive because Jamal's such a big part of what we do. But Bruce stepped up in his place, 21 points, and we got a lot of contributions from other people as well. So now we're moving on to Minnesota, obviously conference game, division game, and hopefully we're ready for that.
Just wanted an obligatory mention of Nikola Jokic, 30 points on 13 shots.
Yeah.
12 assists.
And no turnovers. No turnovers, which is amazing, especially against that team. I mean, that team they turn people over at a high rate, which fuels their break. I actually said to the players in there, gave Aaron Gordon the defensive player of the game and a few other things, and I said, oh, by the way, Nikola got his 90th triple-double, big deal. And guys were cracking up because we're all becoming so accustomed to it. But I promised myself I will never take Nikola and his greatness for granted. He is a phenomenal player, plays the game the right way, and makes everybody around him better. And what a joy to coach. All right. So we must have some Steeler fans in the pantry. That was the best media session this year.